Hadith literature is not just a source of teachings, it is the scaffolding of traditional Islam as we know it. If you question the Hadith, you are not just critiquing text, you are dismantling the structure that gives religious scholars their legitimacy. Without Hadith, centuries of legal schools, rituals and rulings become baseless, and this terrifies those whose identity is rooted in that system. Defenders of Hadith are not merely defending history, they are defending their profession, their status and their authority over the masses. When Yasir Qadhi raised doubts, it hit a nerve because he came from within, not as an outsider, but as a former guardian of this tradition. The intense pushback reveals not confidence in Hadith, but insecurity masked as scholarship. If the Hadith are truly solid, then why the panic? Why the desperate infographics, presentations, and emotional rebuttals? Because it's not about proving truth, it's about preserving control. The fear is that people will return to the Quran without intermediaries, and if that happens, the elaborate network of fatwas, sects, rituals, and clergy roles loses its grip. Defending Hadith becomes a survival instinct, not a pursuit of truth. They claim to love the Prophet, but in practice, they often love their version of him, shaped through selective Hadith filters. The moment people realize many Hadiths contradict the Quran or each other, the entire idea of unquestionable consensus begins to rot. The scholars know this, and that's why they scramble to remind the public, trust us, we checked it for you. But critical minds are no longer buying it. The veil is lifting. People are asking, what if the Prophet never said these things? What if submission to God does not require volumes of commentary and hearsay chains? The fear is not theological, it's institutional collapse. Truth does not fear scrutiny, but institutions built on fragile chains do. That's why they must defend Hadith, not because it's untouchable, but because they are without it.